Welcome back. This is a fun segment. We just got done talking about how awesome we had of a week last week, right? I'm here again with Pat.
Absolutely.
Patrick. He heads he's our chief investment strategist here at Financial Reboot. And you know, a lot of people that have been calling in and asking questions and kind of feeling us out, they want to know our different strategies. We talked in the last couple of shows about our different strategies and how we do what we do and why we have the success that we have. But in this particular segment, Pat, I want to talk to the viewers out there and the listeners on the podcast about kind of our core portfolio and what we're in and why we're in it. Yeah. So let's start with CAFD.
Yeah, and just to speak about the core portfolio, you know, people, it's easy to get the impression that we're just day traders or super short-term traders that are just buying and selling stocks willy-nilly. But really, we're no different in the base sense of any other sensible investors. We have a core portfolio. There are stocks that we are willing to buy and hold for extended times. We're just not willing to buy and hold dogs.
Right.
So, and these are always evaluated, but we are looking for longer term goals.
So that's a good play too. That's a good, he brought up a really good point. Let's touch on that because a lot of clients come to us like they say, you know, I've got all this money in one stock. So sometimes there's a gestation period when we start working with our consultation clients to get their portfolio freed up of what we call the cancer. Let's cut out the cancer. Let's get that portfolio making some good steady profits.
Absolutely.
And then when you're at a healthy level and a healthy ROI inside your portfolio, it's at that point that we leverage them into what we consider core portfolio to really skyrocket profits and stabilize, so you never have that worry about, you know, am I going to lose my, you know, our core portfolio is so strong, and you'll see that here in just a sec.
Yeah.
So look, do you want to talk CAFD?
Let's talk CAFD first, because that's one of our, that's probably the first core portfolio we built, stock. And that's a solar play, 8.3. And we bought that in the low 14s. It's been as high as 16, maybe mid 16 since then. But it's got a very strong dividend, and it has enough cash in its bank to pay that dividend for 6 years. So that dividend's not going anywhere. It's another company that better oil prices strengthen the balance sheet. So we want to own this as long as oil's bullish, as long as that dividend is proper. We're going to own this, and we're going to keep it in the portfolio, and we're going to reap the benefits of it.
You know, last week we had a client text in during the show, and we couldn't answer his question on the show. So we apologize for that because it came in just a little bit late.
Yeah, it did.
But he, you know, we love smart questions. You guys come up with really cool questions. And this guy had asked about First Hawaiian Bank and the IPO and the stock holding of First Hawaiian Bank, because we're here in Hawaii, but he must have been a local, I guess. I'm not sure where he's from, but he asked about First Hawaiian Bank. So let's talk about that, because you know, when you guys ask these questions, our team goes to work and we start researching it, because there's thousands and thousands of stocks that we can play, and we pick great stocks. And you know, some we just might not know about or not on our radar because we're in a different sector. But at this point, we looked at First Hawaiian Bank when he asked, and let's tell him what happened.
And First Hawaiian Bank was actually something we had looked forward to. The IPO was set for a couple weeks ago on Thursday or Friday. But we'll be honest with you.
We're always honest with you.
We are very honest with you. First Hawaiian Bank is a stock that we love. Of any of the banks in Hawaii, it's the most efficient, it's the most well-run, it's the biggest brand recognition. You can't go anywhere without seeing a First Hawaiian Bank rainbow logo. You know, we just love the stock, and we wanted to see how it came out of the IPO, because these things can get really strange in those first 1 or 2 days of trading. So if you look on the website, we responded to the question through a video, and we actually gave our buy points and our price target.
Yeah.
So, and we wanted to buy it under $26. We got lucky. It's been under 25 for the last week. We bought during the week, and on Friday it popped over 25.
Yeah.
So people are starting to.
So the point is, we love your questions, and don't think that you know, we're too big to answer your questions. We love your questions, and we will work night and day to answer all of your questions. So
you bet.
Text the word show to 760-254-0003. I've got my phone right here. I see all of the ones that come in. Rick, thank you so much. May, Irina, thank you so much. We're answering all these questions right now.
Absolutely.
So let's talk PGNX.
PGNX is Progenics. That's another bio or pharmaceutical. And this one has a relister that just got a FDA approval. It's opioids are the number one problem, or Americans are the number one consumers of opioids. With opioid consumption comes constipation. They make a injectable constipation drug for opioid users because it's pain medication. It's very common, but they just got approved on an oral relister, an oral version of it. So there's big things down the pipeline for this company. They just had earnings. They had very good earnings. They had very good guidance. So this is a core portfolio stock.
Right.
We are either looking for it to be bought out, the relister to be bought out, or we're just looking for at least maybe triple on this stock. So we're willing to hold on to this as long as it doesn't turn into a dog.
Right.
But
Now,
it's already up, I believe.
oh, the PGNX, yeah.
PGNX is...
I don't, do we have? Oh, 16.
It's already up 16%. So.
And it's already up 16% since we last talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Averaging 8% a week. That's spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, we get a little desensitized here because, we're almost used to what the world calls spectacular results. And let me just tell you, it's a good thing to get used to, right? So if you're not a client, be a client. Right. So, look, Irina is asking about. She says, is TGD in the core portfolio?
Yes. We're looking for big things from this. It might not be in for years like a lot of core portfolio items might be, but TGD we're looking. Like I said, if you're following the stock, go take a look at the VGZ chart. That's what we're looking for from TGD. And we feel like even with gold prices not going up from here, even if they just stagnate, this still has so much in the pipeline. They're pulling up great amounts of gold. They're debt free. They paid their debt off. There's a lot of reasons to own this, and we're looking for, just like VGZ, that was something that the hysteria for it came in at about 50 to 60 cents. It went up as high as $1.35. So we're looking for even a little better with TGD.
Now, each week we like to give our viewers and listeners an idea of what we are buying in our portfolio, right? Because if you've been following along, I say this every week, but if you've been following along with us, every week we give you an idea of what we are buying. We're not telling you to go buy things. Our attorneys won't allow that, which is cool. We're cool with that. However, we can say, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. And like we mentioned in one of the last segments, stocks that we mentioned just last week, and we could probably pull it up here on screen real quick. WPX just in the last week was up 8.5%. ADHD just since last week's show is up 7%. LPI just since last week's show is up 18%. TGD just since last week's show is up 13%. And if you would have paid attention to the show before that 2 weeks ago, it's up 20%. So if you rested on your laurels that last week, you missed out on 7% growth in a week. Shame on you. Don't do that again. That's real money. Let's talk about we have one core portfolio play that we do that we save just for our consulting clients. And there's a reason for that. You want to just briefly, we won't tell them what it is because we don't give that away, but why do we like these huge performing portfolio, core portfolio stocks? Like what's the...
Well, people's old school impression of core portfolios are there's something that you buy and you hold for
Forever,
years.
yeah.
If you get 1 or 2% a year on it and a little bit of dividend, it's a great thing. But really what we pick for our core portfolio is what we consider the long-term superstars. The stocks, anybody that's been involved with the stock market in the last 5-10 years knows so many stocks just, they blow up and then they just come back down. With the core portfolio, we're looking for long-term growth, but not average growth. We're looking for those superstars. These would be normal plays for us, our momentum, short-term swing trades, whatever. but we see something a little extra in them, and we see longevity. So that's why they go into the core portfolio.
And let me just tell you, this is one that's in our core portfolio for our own, our corporate accounts and our client accounts. And let me just say this, although I'm not going to give you what it is because we save it for our paying clients, it is so sexy. I mean, it is so wonderful. So look, that's just a little teaser, But listen, we give, each week, we like to give an idea of what we're buying in our account. Can you just tell them right now what it is we've got our eye on this week and why?
We're looking at CARB, C-A-R-B, Carbonite. We like this company, just had earnings, very good earnings. The stock blew up a little bit, ran away a little bit, so we didn't buy right away. But now it's back down to about the $13 level. We like it around there, just under 13, around $13. We won't chase it, but it's been very stable at this level. So we're looking to accumulate at this point. Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're paying real if you're paying real close attention, it's CARB is what we're buying in our portfolio right now as we speak at time of this. So I don't know, maybe it's a good idea if you look at what we did just last week alone. Maybe it's a good idea to just test it out for yourself. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do because I can't. I'm just saying that maybe it's time for a change. So look. We're going to get into a segment. We got. Thank you, Pat. We appreciate you coming out. We're going into a segment right now with a special guest, like we like to do every week. We're going to take a quick sweet nectar break and a quick little commercial, and we will be right back with our special guest. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much.